Welcome to Stay Paid. Today we are answering your burning questions in real estate, business, marketing, and more. On these episodes, we take live calls from listeners of Stay Paid. If you want to have your question answered here live on the show, make sure to visit remindermedia.com/ask. Submit your question there, or you can follow us on Instagram. We are at Stay Paid Podcast. Shoot us a message, and we will schedule to have you here on the show. My name is Josh Stike, Chief Marketing Officer here at Reminder Media, joined as always by Luke Acree, President of Reminder Media, and from the Acree Brothers Realty team lead and founder Stephen Acree. And joining us here on the show, our next caller, Amanda. Amanda, originally from Tennessee, I have here in my notes, but currently in Ireland. Amanda.
Oh, wow.
I'm here.
There you are. Welcome to Stay Paid. How can we help you?
Well, I loved that poll you guys did a while ago, and I wanted to hear more about systems, how we can move into the newer programs and still retain the high touch level of, the old and pre-COVID days.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I also, if you have time, I would love to hear about some new programs that you have your eye on. So
Yeah. Great questions. Are you living in Ireland, or are you just visiting Ireland right now?
I'm a travel advisor, and I'm currently on week 3 or 4.
That's
So-
so cool.
That is awesome.
This is
Doing research?
this is Dublin right here.
That's
Wow.
awesome. Yeah, you
That
gotta
is
check out the
downtown
YouTube
Dublin.
video. Yeah.
That's sick. Tell me a little bit about your travel business. Like, what's the makeup of it? How many clients do you serve? How do you get your clients now?
Okay. So I have been in the travel industry for about a decade, but I've only recently been independent. Independent for 3 years and only hardcore dedicated to it for 1 year. So I feel like this is my first year, honestly.
Okay.
But the growth has been astounding once you actually focus on it and that's your thing. So clients, I started out 6 months ago with probably 4, and now I'm back up to about 320.
Holy cow. Wow.
Those are active traveling clients. And the reason it grew so fast, of course, is many things, word of mouth. I didn't even have my website up as fast as I had my client list built, but it was, I maintained relationships with my, clients and people that I've met while I was being kind of, casual about my business.
Yeah.
And they were just waiting.
What
for
type
me
of
to
revenue can a business like yours do? Is it a couple $100,000 a year, or like what's the?
a couple $100,000 in profit. Yes.
Nice.
Wow.
Yes. So in the last 3 months, I was actually looking at that since you asked about it before coming on the podcast. In the last 3 months, as far as revenue goes, I've made about $520,000.
Nice.
Get
Good
out of
job.
here. You deserve an applause. That is incredible. Especially in an industry like yours, where a lot of people would say like travel, agency, stuff like that are dying.
Not at all.
Yeah, and you're booming, which is amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
so your question really is like operationally, how do you scale?
Yes, because I've scaled so fast. I need help.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So great question for everybody listening, because essentially you're in the rainmaker seat right now, which is like you're the producer, you're both the salesperson, the service person, the product, the delivery, you're everything. And so you've got to go through the process of essentially getting leverage. And leverage, I always teach people on the show, is people or systems. So you either hire, which costs you money, or you buy systems, which cost you time and money, because you have to, well, I guess people cost you time and money too. So really, they both cost you time and money. So for you, I think the fastest place to go is systems, especially in the age of AI. So I guess a couple clarifying questions. Do you have a good contact relationship management system? Do you have a good CRM that you manage all your relationships with?
No, I feel like it's mediocre.
Okay.
It's what everybody else uses, but I feel like to me, it's mediocre because I've been on the sales and financials advisor side, and I know there are better programs out there.
Okay. I don't know the travel world as well. I would definitely go to AI, like Claude Research, and have it research what are the best CRMs, contact relationship management systems for travel agents, travel companies. You might actually want to have a Monday.com or something like that has built-in project management. But really, you're at such a unique place too, because if you get the CRM, right? That's going to manage all your contacts. I would make sure it's AI first, or at least is headed in that direction, because we do a lot of conference travel. So we send our teams to probably 45 to 60 conferences, depending on the year. And we're booking a lot of hotels, and we're booking a lot of flights and all that stuff. And I was teaching my executive assistant the other day how you can hook up your Claude, to hotels.com. You can hook up your Claude to all these different sites and have it go build an agent that goes and actually finds all these things. So for you, I feel like there's a ton of opportunity. And if you can get your business into a CRM, where you have your contacts that you're managing, and then maybe you use an Asana, a Trello, could be a Monday.com, where you manage like your projects. Then it just comes down to, how do I create an agent within Claude Cowork or OpenClaw that can help me go do the research aspect of my job and the booking type aspect of my job that you verify, but it's doing a ton of that work. Because I'm assuming that's where the majority of your time is spent.
Yes, and actually, I agree with you 100%. I use that very efficiently, and I'm at the same age as a lot of other advisors are, but I feel like the use of the AI, even just Chat GPT, doing that research, like I can do probably 3 times as many quotes in a day for a new lead as someone else who's not using it.
It's true. It's truly insane. Have you used Claude like Cowork yet?
No, I haven't.
You should try that, because, and maybe, I don't think, can OpenAI do this yet? Maybe because they bought OpenClaw. But like Cowork, you can give it access to like your folders. So if you download Claude right onto your computer, you can actually, there's Cowork, and you can give it access to your folders. Like, I'll give you a stupid example. I was getting asked to speak at an event, and they needed a headshot, and I knew I had a bunch of pictures of me on my computer. So I said, Claude, I gave it access to my folders, and I said, here's a picture of Luke, and I just gave it a picture of me. And I said, go to my computer and go through all of my pictures and find all the pictures of Luke and put them in a folder for me. And it went and compared every image I have to the image of Luke, found all the pictures of me, put it in a folder called Luke's Pictures. And it's like, so it's like that just enables you so there's so many leverage points for you that you could get. But really where I see also for you is this idea of these connectors. Like if you go to Claude and you go to like these connectors, or, these, basically you can sync in with these different sites. Not everybody's on there, but you could literally go in, and I'm almost positive like it has a ton of the travel stuff in there, because I was just talking to my executive assistant about it. I was trying to look it up here as we're actually on the show. But we can come back to it. But that's where I would start if I were you. And that would be the leverage point. And then, for someone like you, like social's got to be huge. Are you big on social media, like Instagram, all those things, or no?
I'm still learning. And I've actually hired a lady to help me with it, because she is. So she wanted in the travel industry until she learned more about the travel industry. And she comes from a user experience background. Okay. And she was like, I really want to do groups, but I don't want to do what you're doing. It's a lot of work. And I was like, well, I really don't want to do marketing. Let's make a trade. So.
Have you, like every industry, there's niches. Have you figured out your niche? Is your niche corporate travel? Is your niche high-end families and resorts? What's your niche?
Bespoke itineraries, more high-end, and especially drawn to me. High-end is drawn to me. And then, so my niche is actually foodie travel, epicurious adventure travel. So
Love
like
it.
Anthony
So
Bourdain.
You just described, you just described your Instagram feed. Like it's like when you're in Dublin right now and you're a foodie traveler, you should be going to 3 top spots in Dublin right on your Instagram.
All the time. Yeah.
If you put reels out there with that would be huge, because I have that in my feed. Like that's been in my feed. It's like it's not food, but it's like these resorts, like the best resorts in Mexico, the best resorts. So that's what I would do if I were you. I don't know if you guys have other advice, but that's where I would focus. It seems like you have that down locked though. So I want to know your pain point, like the blocker. Because everything I'm saying, you're kind of saying, yeah, I'm doing that. That's what I'm doing. It's perfect. So what's the blocker?
I love it. It's wonderful to hear somebody say, yes, you're on the right path. That's cool. I love it. But my pain is the organization of leads and follow-ups and my sales. I want to track my sales better.
Okay.
I want as much automation as I can get, but I don't want to lose the personal connection.
Okay.
I just can't mentally keep track of 300 clients,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. No, that makes perfect sense. So you got to get the CRM, and then the rule of thumb is, all right, there's 6 different frequencies of marketing, and your goal is to be on all of them.
Yes.
And so what does that look like? That looks like, for Acree Brothers, they're going to have 86 touches, give or take, happening this year to their database. And for them specifically, it looks like 52 emails. So there's 1 email a week going out to their database. It looks like 6 of our magazines, right? So they have 6 magazines going out every 2 months. A new magazine hits their database. They're going to have, 4 to 8 postcards. 4 of those postcards will be just invitations to their client events. 4 of them will be what we call like endearment cards or value offer cards. And so that's another lane that they'll do. And this does not include social media. Like that's totally separate because social media is usually one to many. And what we're talking about here is 1-to-1. So you have 300 and something clients. So, each of your clients should receive probably a weekly or biweekly or at least monthly email from you.
They're going to kill me, man.
Yeah, you think that, but if it's full of value, they won't.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's like, where are you traveling this this like, where's Amanda this week? Where in the world is Carmen San Diego? That takes you way back. Anybody else remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And if I'm tuned into what they need, then it won't be just fluff. It's
it's value.
Yeah. About.
And travel's
if
fun.
Your niche is the food thing. If your food, like if their niche is your niche is the foodie, the travel, like I would want to watch that, and I would want to email showing your video of all the food sites you went to. It's like a quick thing instead of social media. I think that's a great hit because when he says things of value, it's not like you selling something. It's more of like things that your clients would be interested in seeing and like would open, because then they're going to see you, be reminded of you, and I want to go on that trip, right? I want to do that, and that's how
Let's pull up her Instagram. Let's pull up your Instagram.
Oh no, please don't.
And your website. Yeah,
that's not.
We got to audit it because that essentially is the pain point in essence. I can try to find you.
I don't even have a business Instagram yet.
That's okay. You just have to change your personal one to a professional account. What is the?
It's going to be amazing_Narava.
Okay, amazing_. The reason why you would want to go ahead.
Are you against hiring, Amanda? Like, is that something that you want to do?
I actually just hired 2 employees, so my first 2 employees. Although one of them did convert from a travel advisor to my marketing person, but that's okay.
Okay.
I needed that.
No, that's great. Yeah, that's what you need. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because we always say hire like an administrative person first. And it sounds like you need that. And then salesperson second.
We both saw the need and she said, I've got the skills. And
Sweet.
Yeah, I love it. I post a lot more on Facebook. So if you want to find me there, it'd probably be easier. And it'd just be Amanda. Well, you can find Amanda. Let's see. Navarra. Where's my phone?
So I can already tell looking at your Instagram. Now I know people are listening to this or watching on YouTube, so they can't see it. Maybe Josh, you can find it.
It's embarrassing. It's slightly embarrassing, honestly. And that's, but I don't feel bad because, like I said, I see there's a gap and I've hired help.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's
well, you don't even feel bad. Yeah, this is about you growing. Like, it's not like you're killing it. You already said how much you did, the past couple of months. But this is about, all right, where's opportunities where I can grow?
Yeah, and that's why I'm talking to you too.
Right.
You need to write down. This will help you. You need to, and we basically have already come to this consensus based upon this call. But you need to write down your content pillars. This will help you structure for you and your marketing person. So what is the content pillars that you and Amazing Navarra are, want to be known for? And one of them obviously is travel, food in travel. And then, maybe it's your personal life, like your family, maybe you're into fitness, whatever your content pillars are. And that's what you're going to post. For me, in looking at your Instagram, like it's just not consistent enough.
No,
it doesn't say in the bio what you do. There's no links to get to where you, because you got to get to a business profile. So like a couple action items for you right away. Go over, change your profile from a personal profile to like a professional business one. And you can just switch that over in your settings. And that will allow you to start tracking your audience. Change your bio to state actually exactly what you do. Give a link right there to your website. And then I would, if I were you, you have such a golden opportunity with travel to do what is like comparison, where you can talk, like you have this great post on, this, you should try this in Rome. It looks like some,
Oh yes.
what is it? Like I
I
can't
don't
even
know what
pronounce
that's called, but it's
Yeah.
basically like a stuffed donut.
Yeah,
like an
stuffed donut, right? So
overstuffed donut.
the three
It's so
donuts.
full you can hardly fill it. You can hardly
Yeah.
hold it. Oh my God.
Like that's a great piece of content, and it's like your feed should be filled with you doing reviews, comparisons, top threes, top 5 places to visit. Like that is where you should get your marketing person to be. But remember that content on social, it needs to be social, and people get attracted to like values and share things. So it's your journey in experiencing these things as well is as important. So it's like the top 3 donuts I had in Rome, and you should have them too. It's like those type of things is what I would give to you. So like I think your biggest issue is you already know, which is what we tend to find with the callers that call in, but auditing your stuff on Instagram right away, and I'm assuming Facebook's probably very similar.
You're already blogging about it as well, right?
Me?
Yeah. Am I on the right?
No, I don't
you
think
don't have.
so.
Okay, maybe I'm on.
You
the...
found another competitor.
You probably. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, I do vlog, but just unofficially. I talk about connections. See, the thing about food, it's not just food; it's the legacy of the recipes that connect the different cultures.
I love that.
Okay, so then your action items really are, Amanda, it's like, okay, you need a weekly email going out, or at least monthly.
Yes, sir.
Somewhere in between.
Yes, sir.
And you need to get your Instagram humming, and TikTok. You should be on TikTok for sure.
Okay.
Your TikTok and Instagram can be the same type of content. I would get that going immediately. And then from the other thing is, if you have a CRM but it's not great, you need to get yourself a good CRM. Because that is obviously going to be your gold. But you're doing so much right. All you have to do is now add these little nuances, because you really are. You're doing so much right from a business perspective. We do work with, travel agents. We have a decent amount that we've worked with over the years. It's a very similar business to real estate, very similar to financial advising, relationship driven. So it's like you're on the right path. You just need to get organized, as you said.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm hoping, that systems, I want to find systems that can help me with the organization.
What would you expect for her in her open rates on those emails? Like what should be looking for if she's doing something wrong or doing something right with them?
Good question.
That's
if it's a great client list, then I would not be surprised. You should be seeing 30 to 40% open rates. If it's just you don't really have a great relationship with these people, but they know you, you're probably going to be down in the 15%, range, 14 to 20%, somewhere in there is what I would say.
Okay.
If it's a colder list and it's like not really opted in, they don't really know you, I mean, you could be as low as 3%, 4%, so that's really not ideal. Most platforms will kick you off.
And then a thing for systems too, I was thinking, man, since you just had your first 2 new hires, do you have like SOPs for everything that you do? Like, do you have I've got a standing operating procedure or a breakdown of like everything that you do throughout your day, or that you intend to do?
I've learned that's a really good question. I learned that recently that I need more.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had the bones, but I didn't have them. I didn't have it enough. I didn't have enough, like you said, for every little thing.
Yep.
It's not enough just to have the bones, because then you've got questions still coming in like, so how do we do that? How are we supposed to do that? What's the procedure? And I like everybody on the same page. So.
You said you just hired 2 people?
I did. Yep.
I personally don't love that you've hired 2 people. I don't think you have big enough revenue to hire 2 people. And are they salespeople?
They are commission only. So they are in training.
Okay.
And so like I said, the one, she actually decided to just be our marketing person and website design.
But do you have to pay a salary for that, or is that okay?
Nope.
Then that's
just
better.
Training. And actually they pay their own fees too. So the programs that we use, I gave them discount codes, but they pay for their own.
Okay, that's better. Yeah, because that's the only, if it's salespeople or, like you're saying, commission based, then I don't have a problem with it. But at your revenue levels, to hire 2 people, I don't know if I would do that before I would do.
I wouldn't either. I agree with you. But I love people who want to learn, and it doesn't cost me, it doesn't
Yeah,
cost me an arm and a leg for them to learn. It does nothing but benefit me.
I love
So.
those people too. The ones
for
who do
sure.
it, they're just pro bono. No,
Well, no, not pro bono,
I'm
but
just kidding.
But
because
yeah,
your time is money. So
It
but
is.
yeah, I would definitely get those procedures and easy, and then obviously use AI to your advantage. But one thing recently, have you heard of Whisperflow? They'll save
no,
you
I
time.
haven't. No, tell me.
It's a it's like a talk to text that it's on your computer. So
Uh-huh.
you can literally like talk through your ideas of what you do and then tell it to systematically do it. It'll just save you time, and it's an easier way to think when you're talking than typing.
Hmm.
So Whisperflow, it's
Okay.
I learned it from some other AI like that are into it big time. And it just
Okay.
saves you so much time. So like as you're like right now, you could be sitting down thinking of like, what do I do? And literally talking to it, and then you hit enter, and then it'll process it all for you.
I love it.
Yep.
I love that. All right. I think I abused ChatGPT with a little bit of that.
Yep.
No.
Whisperflow.
Well,
All right, I like
your
it.
list is full, Amanda. Enjoy
It
Dublin,
is.
but
I'm
get executing.
Yeah,
excited.
Get
jealous.
Okay.
right away. Get on your Instagram and TikTok. Like you're already
Yes,
there.
sir.
Now, I want to
Yes,
see
sir.
the top 3 things in Dublin that I should be doing when I travel there next, or the
Okay.
top 3 restaurants I should go to. That would be
Oh,
amazing.
definitely. And we can eat in some really cool places, and we can eat in some really interesting places, and give our
And remember, negative sales sells too. If you go to Dublin, do not go to this place. Like that will sell as well on social. So if you go to
I have
negative,
homesick. I have a homesick lasagna video that you probably appreciate. We've got friends that make it from scratch, and I'm all over Dublin. And I'm like, nope, that isn't it. That isn't it.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That stuff will sell like gold. You have great content potential there. So just go execute. Appreciate you coming on the show. Appreciate you listening.
Thank you
Okay,
guys.
Have a great one.
All
Good
right,
luck.
bye.
Bye. All right, there you go. Make sure to get your questions answered live here on Stay Paid. Go to remindermedia.com/ask. All right. This is a write-in question from Leanne. So Leanne is asking, what is the best way to stay relatable to our clients over the years without being salesy or bothersome, yet staying relevant and engaging?
Did Leanne say what industry she's in? Is it Leanne Johnson? I guess as I see the name there, but she say what industry?
I do not.
Let's just assume she's probably real estate, but maybe not.
I'll check in the meantime.
Like I always say, like the best way is literally human connection, like personal relationship. So it's like it's being a friend to somebody and getting to know their family and getting to know their, it's the FORD acronym: family, occupation, recreation, dreams, and actually getting into relationship with somebody. That's how you actually stay relevant and you can be in contact with them without coming across the wrong way. But technically speaking, at scale, you're not going to have a close relationship with everybody. And so the way I always break it down is the 3 E's: entertainment, education, endearment. So education is going to be the majority of what you do for people. So let's say Leanne is in real estate. If you're listening to this, so she is awesome. So like, what opportunity does a real estate agent have to educate everything around the home? You have the opportunity to be the hub for. And I think agents really drop the ball. I think we're probably doing a bad job at this at Acree Brothers even, and this is what we do. But it's like educating people around everything around their home. So for instance, my home insurance. I should actually be hearing from my real estate agent every year about an update of where, hey, this is home insurance prices. This is what's happening there. And the real estate agent now has an opportunity to partner with that property casualty agent to be able to do that. Or my home equity. Or, if I renovate it, like, who does a good job at this? And, shout out to them is HomeBot. HomeBot does a good job of laying out like so much of this information for agents to be able to send their clients. But that educational stuff around my home, I constantly want to know what my home's worth. My wife and I are just remodeling our kitchen and our bathroom. It's costing us way more than I would have ever wanted to spend. Should I have spent this much? Those type of educational pieces make you the subject matter expert. And so I would heavily focus on that if I was a real estate agent. So first is relationship. Second is the education. And then if you're really, really good, you'll go the extra mile and you'll do the entertainment and endearment. And the best way you guys do it, and Stephen Cody, you guys can speak to this, but is your client events. You invite people to client events that are non-salesy, non-educational, totally relationship-driven, fun, entertaining, And it goes a long way in helping you build that mind share without coming across the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah, you said it really well, because I think the hard part in follow up with your clients and staying in relationship with them is people don't transact but every like 10 to 12 years. Right. So then you're just finding like it's value proposition based, but the value proposition is not on selling a house because they're not in, the place in which they're going to sell or buy. And so then it's just focusing on things that that they do day to day. It might be the best restaurants, in Lynchburg, Virginia. It might be, like you said, Luke, rates are going up on insurance. This is what it should be. It might be a contractor vendor list that you send out to your clients. So just compile that. And again, you can go to AI and just type in all the things that would be valuable to your clients. It will give you a list of them, and just start doing videos on that, and newsletters that are sent out based around that information is what I would say.
And the best connectors I've ever met, like in the people who do business development at a high level, they're just really, really good at random outreaches. Like they're really, really good. I think of the people we've had over the years, like Daryl and stuff like that, who has all these relationships with CEOs and high-level people across the real estate industry. He just has no problem just chatting somebody, texting them and going, hey, thinking about you today. Hope you're doing well. We haven't caught up in a while. And maybe he hasn't talked to him in like 8 months. And he just doesn't even flinch. It doesn't bother him. And that, I think, is most real estate agents, or people in general, we just get in our head that I haven't talked to Steven in 6 months. It's weird for me to just text him out of the blue. And you just get over that. Like if every day you systematize just texting a couple of people just to check in, and you'd be surprised how powerful that is. Because guess what? You didn't keep in touch with them, but guess what they didn't do? They didn't keep in touch with you. And so they are also feeling that same, like, oh, yeah, I haven't talked to Luke in, 8 months. Yeah, how's it going, man? How's the family? And that will help tremendously. And then a lot of the great real estate agents, I think of Garrett Maroon's agent. He gets most of his business. I don't know if this is still true to this day, but a couple years ago when I was speaking at a conference with him, he got most of his business from the fishing group he was in, right? He's in this Facebook fishing group. And most of his business was coming from just guys that he was fishing with. And you go, yeah, like I went to church on Tuesday night, and this, applies even to the church. We were talking about small groups and evangelism. And Robert, one of the leaders there, was just saying he is very intentional. Like he likes to find out, hey, what are you into? And the person might say hiking. And he goes, let's go for a hike. Like, let's hike. He'll set up a time, like, let's go hike somewhere. Or, oh, I'm into golf. Okay, let's go golfing. And he just intentionally spends time with people and the things that they love to do, because it builds relationship and it builds commonality. It builds rapport. And obviously he likes those things too, so he's willing to do it. But that's really what you need to think about for relationships, is the best people are the ones who are they're just playing golf with people. They're just, grabbing a cup of coffee. They're just, I like my alone time, so it's really hard for me to give up, my alone time.
Young children, so
yeah, but
time is
every meal, I mean, there's a rule out there that, or somebody wrote a book or something, like you should never waste a meal. Like every meal you should be eating with somebody.
Yeah, never eat alone.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a great principle. But
love it. Another question here from Carly. Carly is in Michigan, also in real estate. How do you keep going when you feel like you're struggling? This is a good timely question.
Oh, jeez.
Sharon had a great post on this saying, if you feel like nothing's working essentially and you're struggling, it actually means you're doing good. Yeah. And I was like, there's so much truth to that perspective.
There's a reason why you feel like you're struggling, because you're actually making progress.
You're actually
doing
something.
Anything.
Mm-hmm. If it was easy, everybody would do it, as the platitude goes. But the way I have kept going over the years is I am intrinsically or extrinsically motivated more than intrinsically motivated. So if somebody needs me to show up for them and I have to deliver for somebody else, I will do it so much more than if it's just myself. I don't know why. That's just me as a person. So I need that outside accountability. Even right now, I'm talking to somebody that I'm going to hire probably as an executive coach. And he asked me, well, what's the main thing you want to get out of it? I said, I need accountability that I have to deliver for somebody. Because if I don't have that, I just know I'm not as good. It's like that's one of the main things I need versus, you know, a couple other things too. But it's like I just am that way. So that's how I keep going is I got to put myself out there for other people.
We were literally just talking about this yesterday with a guy on our team, and it took him 6 months really to get his first deal, and he's gone from one, two, three, then four in the like 6 month marker to where he is now. And the whole 6 months of coaching was literally like he never had sales before. And so it's like, you've got to just keep doing what you're doing. You're improving his encouragements. Here's your pipeline. It's looking good. Keep building. And like, it was just a constant encouragement of like, you're doing the right thing because it feels like you're not. It feels like you're stagnant and you're not growing at all. And I'm on the other side being like, I've been there, bro. And I know what you're feeling, but trust me, when I'm seeing what you're doing and how you've improved from day one till now, it's crazy the difference, and you have to keep going. And so like what you said is perfect, and it's what that person probably really needs is like, because I think the main question is, and Steven said it the other day, was, am I doing the right thing? Like, am I doing right, or am I just doing something for nothing? And you need to be encouraged that you are doing the right thing. It just isn't hitting yet because it's not time. It's a buildup of a pipeline. Like real estate is a time game. So it's like your biggest question, am I doing the right thing? We don't know. Obviously, you're not even here. But the thing for you would be to like check to see with someone that's been in it, that's done it, and are you doing the right things? Because you might not be, but you need to be encouraged if you are that, hey, you're doing it, just keep going.
Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, you got to do more of it. People severely underestimate the volume of activity that they have to do.
Yeah, I was talking to someone the other day that has run like a double Ironman. And it was pretty funny because I've thought like this most of my life. But like he said, I don't think about the finish line once I start the Ironman. Of course, like before he starts, he's getting amped up. He's like, once I finish this, I'm going to have this euphoria that's there that has been nothing I've ever experienced in my life. But he said when he was actually in the Ironman, he would break it down into just steps. So to go, I'm in a loop. If I take this loop 5 times, I'm this percentage done to my goal. And I think that's an important piece. I think a lot of people, they think about being finished. They think about being retired. They think about having the money that they've dreamed about. And in reality, if you think about that, it's too far in the distance, And so you just get discouraged with where you're at. So I think part of it is just going, I know where I want to be. I only reflect on that a certain amount of times throughout the year. But then I just focus on the actions. What's my next step? What do I have to do next to get there? And you'll always get out of those seasons by taking those steps.
What's her name again?
Carly.
Because wait until Carly, you actually don't have to do the hard anymore. You can just do the medium. That's a whole nother battle that I'm learning. I'm blessed. I'm at a place in my life where it's like I could change Reminder Media into a lifestyle business. Like we could make this so much more lean. We could just make our lives so much easier. And it is really hard sometimes when you face adversity. Josh is like, we could? Nah. Really?
Josh is like, we didn't take that option.
That doesn't sound very fun.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why they say, when people say you got to find your why, I think the component of the why that is actually true is the why of impact. All the other why stuff, I think, is just, I think it just changes all the time. But the why of impact, meaning like, what is the impact you're trying to make? And for you, it might be in a season like your kids. You're trying to accomplish something so you can get your kids to a certain place or whatever. For me, in times it might be
a job.
Yeah, take a job. I might hire Josh's daughter to help us babysit our kids. But the point being is like it's crazy how hard it is sometimes when you're like, I don't have to go through this. Like we just had an employee come at us this week, and I'm just like, I don't have to do this. And it's like, but meaning the point being is like, you go, oh yeah, no, I do need to do this because I need to help people. Yeah. I need to help this person. I need to help, the people that I serve. And that's a bigger mission for me. It's like, yeah, I need to do this because
for Luke to do.
Exactly. It's hard for me to serve you. No, but the point is, it's like, that's really what it's about. The selfishness in you wants to go, why do I have to do that? I don't want to, like, why do I need to put up with this or that? It's like, no, that's why.
Right.
That's why you're here. Like, you want to help these people. I want to help this person grow, and I want to help them succeed and get what they want in life. And the same, for all of us here on this call, it's like, and that is so fulfilling in life. A life of service is a life of significance.
Yeah. Like, and I think it too, like real estate or even lending. It's like, why do I need to make this call for this client? Like the introduction call. Oh, I can just send them something and they can fill out a form. Or is the right thing to do to service them well is to give them the call, even though it takes more time and might not need it, but it's a better service for them. But yeah, you're always questioning, like, how can I be more efficient or where can I take this when you forget about the service aspect of it?
Yep.
Awesome. There you go. You can get your questions answered here on Stay Paid Podcast. Go to remindermedia.com/ask. And if we can't get you scheduled here on the show, we'll read them. Then you have to listen. And you can't say anything back to us. Thank you so much for listening. You can dive deeper into this episode, get the show notes and the video over at staypaidpodcast.com. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. What is happening right now? Subscribe to the YouTube channel over at Reminder Media. Give this video a thumbs up. Best way to help out the show is simply to share this episode with somebody that you know. Make sure to follow us on Instagram. We are at Stay Paid Podcast for this episode of Stay Paid. I'm Josh Stike.
And I'm Luke Acree. And guys, my action item for you is most people, they know what they should be doing, but they're just not doing it. And the reason they're not doing it is because they just lack the confidence. And you need to go to someone who has the confidence. So I would encourage you this week to find a mentor in your life that has done what you want to do. Maybe they're not too far down the road from where you're at, and they can actually affirm for you that you're doing the right thing or tell you the direction you should go. That is the action item that you should take. The difference between top producers and mediocre producers in every business is top producers take action. Take action on that today.